Now I'm going to talk about milk. I have a few different types of milk here just to show you what I use. The first one that I have here is oat milk, which you can use as a replacement for regular milk to drink with, to put in cereal. You can also cook with it. I don't drink a lot of milk, but my daughter does, so I give her oat milk, and sometimes I also cook with it. In addition, I have coconut milk, which I have here in a can because where I live, it's the easiest way to get coconut milk, especially quality coconut milk. I have to get it in a can. I don't prefer it in a can, and if you live in an area where you can get a better kind of coconut milk, please do so. But for me, this is the best I can do, and it allows me to stock up. So I often have a lot of cans of coconut milk on hand because I use it in a lot of recipes. So most of the sauces that I use, even tomato sauces, include coconut milk. Luckily, in my family, we don't really have any nut allergies, which is why I'm able to use coconut milk and almonds and walnuts and cashews and things like that, because we don't have nut allergies. So if you do have a nut allergy, you would not want to use coconut milk, but for me, it is a serious essential. I probably use coconut milk 3 to 4 times a week, because I put it in almost everything that has a sauce, and we do eat a lot of saucy foods. So coconut milk is definitely an essential. And when you get it, you want to make sure that it's unsweetened coconut milk, by the way. This is unsweetened. And I got this one from Wegmans. And then I also have something that's controversial, and that's almond milk. And I have the Blue Diamond Almond Breeze almond milk here. I have it here as an example of almond milk. I would suggest, if you do want to use almond milk and you do want to have it as part of your pantry, that you find a better brand. That's really all I'll say about that, because there is some controversy around this almond milk, but it's here just to show you an example. When at all possible, if you can, make your own almond milk out of almonds. I know a lot of people don't do it because almonds can be pricey, and it is a process to do so, but when you can, definitely make your own almond milk. But in my household, almond milk is definitely an essential. There are also other milk options. There's flax milk, which I used to buy a lot of. I don't buy it too much now because it's a little watery for me. So when I cook, I like to have thick, creamy milk. But another good milk is cashew milk, which you can also make yourself. I don't have either one of those here with me, but I do buy them sometimes. Also, a lot of times in the refrigerator section at your grocery store, there is coconut milk. Please keep in mind that is a coconut milk drink most of the time. Sometimes you can get real coconut milk, but most of the coconut milk that you see in the refrigerator section in your grocery store is a coconut milk drink, which means that it's filtered water mixed in, it's all these other ingredients, but it's not pure coconut milk. So definitely keep that in mind, which is why I get mine in a can, because this is more pure, straight coconut milk than what you find in the refrigerator section at the grocery store. Now, after this, I would like to talk about some other ingredients that I have in my kitchen, some that don't really fit into a category, and I'll go over those really quickly. And that one of those is rolled oats. So I use rolled oats a lot in baked goods. I do take them sometimes and put them in the food processor or the blender to make flour, and then I'll make baked goods with it. So rolled oats are definitely good. They're good to add fiber to your diet. So this is an essential in my kitchen. I use it in pancakes, I use it in muffins, I use it in everything. So rolled oats, definitely an essential. And then I have baking powder. Depending on your, depending on your dietary restrictions or your preferences, you may not use baking powder, but if you do, I have these two here. This is the Trader Joe brand, and then this is the Rumford brand. Both of these are aluminum-free baking powder. If you do use baking powder when you cook, you want to make sure that it's aluminum-free. And then I also have here a real essential in everyone's kitchen, which is apple cider vinegar. It has a million uses. I'm not even going to get into them right now. I'm just going to say if you don't have it, make sure you get it. And when you get it, you want to make sure that you have the raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. Next, I'm going to move on to some of the seasonings that I use in my kitchen. I didn't pull out everything that I use. I just pulled out some essential basics. And generally what people season their food with is salt and pepper. That's the main seasonings that you start with. So that's what I'll talk about today. What I have here is Himalayan pink salt, which is my everyday salt. I buy it in bulk. I get it from Costco, and it's the salt that I use in most of my cooking. There are also red salts, black salts, gray salts that I also use. Those are more specialty salts, but this is one that I use in everyday cooking, Himalayan pink salt. I do not use white salt. So that is not even in my kitchen, just like I don't use white rice. I generally don't use white flour, so the same goes for salt. The next thing I have are peppercorns. I like peppercorns better than just buying ground black pepper. I think the peppercorns give a better taste. You can also get white peppercorns. They come in different colors. What I have here is the black peppercorns, and I use these obviously in a grinder, and I season my foods with this as well. Then I have coconut aminos, which I use in replace of soy sauce. So anywhere where soy sauce would be used, I use coconut aminos. I also use it as a general all-around seasoning. It tastes delicious. So coconut aminos. And I get this big bottle from Whole Foods. I believe that you could probably get it from most grocery stores. It's not as popular as other items, so it's not at every grocery store, but I know they have it at, I believe, Wegmans. And like I said, I got this one from Whole Foods. Then I have another item here. It's not necessarily a kitchen essential for me, but for most people it is, and it's nutritional yeast. There is some controversy around nutritional yeast, so you know, if it's something you want in your kitchen, you just do your own research, decide if you're comfortable with it, if it is something you want to consume. It is very nutritious, supposedly, because it's fortified with vitamins and minerals. It has a cheesy flavor, and it does taste good. It does have a good flavor to it, so it adds good flavor to foods. But like I said, there's some controversy behind it. I won't get into all of that because that's a whole nother discussion for another day. But I have it here. When I do get it, I get it in bulk, which is why it's in this jar. And I just fill up jars with nutritional yeast, and I use it as I need it. Of course, there's other seasonings that I use. I don't have them here. I just have my basic essential items here. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of fruits and vegetables that I have as essential items in my kitchen.